Racism. Racism. I experienced racism. To what extent? I cannot honestly say. I've gotten pulled over for no reason. I get followed around in stores. Racism is real and harmful. In America, we have a history of racism in our country. But it's not the unpardonable sin. And for me, I had a lack of forgiveness in this area. And what I had to realize is racism is a factor in my life, but so are many other things. And as a believer, I found it's not beneficial to say and label things and say that they can hinder God's plan for me on earth, because it's not possible. It will not happen. But how do I say that without then excusing the inherent racism in our culture and society? Can I submit to you that two things can be true and are true? One question that really stuck out to me was, is it our outlook on life that shapes our experiences? Or is it our experiences that shape our outlook? One thing I want to say as a believer, man, is we're all one race. And sin affects us all. Racism is just another sin. Now, I put the just in there because is racism bigger than God? No. There's no two standards as a believer, regardless of our race. I can't justify my prejudice or hate towards white people because of the history in slavery, nor can they justify the hate they have for people that look different than them. It's all the same in God's eyes. And I want to talk about the standard that is the Word of God, not the standard that society tries to put on us. Because that's irrelevant. God is in control. If He is for me, who or what can be against me? Greater in me than he that is in the world. Stand on those words. Get those words in your spirit. When we hold true to the Word of God, the realities of this world pale in comparison. We all have to give an account. Life affects everyone. Sin affects everyone. That's how we come together. In life, anyone can go through hard times and suffering. It may look a little different. It may manifest itself in a different way. But at the end of the day, we can all come together in the idea that this world isn't enough, nor gives as much as it takes. But as believers, we know this world isn't our last world. This world isn't the end. We believe in eternity. Let's set our eyes on eternity and love one another, show compassion towards one another. That's the real way to stop racism. This is a lot easier said than done. I myself still struggle with this every day. But what I remind myself is that Jesus doesn't look at our pain and say, I died on a cross. What you're going through is nothing. No, he loves us and shows compassion. We need to show compassion. It can be difficult, and yes, we may not understand or relate, but to those people, their pain is real. And regardless of whether we can relate to it, we need to be loving and help them through it. God doesn't call us to measure and rank who's been through the worst pain, or invalidate their experiences because some other people may have it worse. In due time, helping them see that pain is relative or suffering is relative can help them. But in that moment, love that person. Treat that person how you'd like to be treated. And remember, if there's an injustice, God will avenge us. How great will it be to be in heaven with our Father and look back and say, God, I loved everyone with all of my heart, regardless of whether I felt like they deserved it or not. I did what was pleasing to you. And we hear those words, well done, my good and faithful servant. When we're quick to judge, or start trying to decide whether this person deserves our love or forgiveness, just remember, are we extending the same level of love and compassion that Jesus has for us? Or are we creating our own standard?